go do something together. We protect that time. And I'll tell you, raising 4 boys, all these commitments, me being a business owner, like I could really spend that 5 hours of my week and probably really dig into getting some things done. I could probably write another book. I could offer another course. I could do something to create another stream of revenue in the business. But I say no to those things. My wife has tons of things that come her way. She says no to all those things that come her way on Fridays because that is my date day with my man. That's the way she views it. That's the date day with my woman. That's the way I view it. And we guard that. We guard that with every inch of our life. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to our last show in October. And hey, happy Halloween out there for all you guys. This is such a special time of year. I really, really love this time of year. I actually, truth be told, I love and hate this time of year. I love this time of year because it's fall, it's cooler, the leaves are changing, and there's just something about like the holiday season, and I love Halloween. It's always like been one of my most favorite holidays. And plus, like when you have kids and you get to like relive those, especially those Halloween days all over again, man, it's so much fun. Like so many really cool memories are made. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but we try. We haven't been great about it, but we try to like sometimes theme the entire family. That one's been tough. But we do dress up. We always dress up, which has been fun. And we always go trick-or-treating and we have a good time with the kids. But that's what this year is all about. This time of year is all about. But I also hate this time of year because, just to be honest, like I don't like the cold. I don't like being cold. I don't like the cold. I like warmth. I like heat. Like put me in the desert. Don't put me in Alaska, even though I love the mountains over the beach, which is kind of weird. But gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to the Dad Edge Podcast. I'm Larry Hagner, your host and founder of this podcast, this show and movement. October, this is the month that things get nuts, and I wanted to dedicate this show, the last show of October, for the topic of fall schedules and family overload, because that's the title of today's show. We're right in the middle of the crazy season. So the kids are back to school. They've been back to school for about a quarter. We're now entering into Thanksgiving, where we really hit the gas pedal of intensity, stress, overwhelm. We eat bad. We don't have any margin in our lives. We're trying to shop. We're paying for things that we probably shouldn't be paying for, like, lots of gifts, like tons of money goes out the door. So it's never fun. But and then Christmas and then New Year's, and then everybody wants to do something different. So speaking of doing things different, I did want to give you guys a heads up. I was talking about this on last week's podcast. I decided to create something brand new, and I'll tell you why I created it. So I'm creating a course called From Roommates to Soulmates. And the reason I did that is because we've had so many men who have come into the Alliance, and they have really talked about this roommate syndrome, or feeling like a roommate with their wives. And I'm like, roommate syndrome, like, what is this all about? And then I was in roommate syndrome too, first 12 years of my marriage. But really what it feels like is you talk about high level things with your wife. You don't talk about necessarily deep things. You talk about mostly parenting stuff or operations of your family. You don't really talk about like needs, wants, desires, getting to know each other all over again, being curious about each other, romance and passion, all that good stuff. That stuff just kind of takes a back seat because we're so busy with kids. And then suddenly we start to see that our intimacy fall away. So our connection falls away. The amount of times we're having sex just completely falls away. Things like this that just slowly slip away. And then here's the crazy thing. And I think this is one of the most dangerous and sinister things. It's the other people that we allow to speak into that. So like, I remember when I don't know if you guys have gone through this, but I've spoken to many guys who have come into the Alliance, and they're telling me the same stuff, and I experienced the same stuff. Before I had the right group of people around me, the right type of men around me that basically was like, yeah, man, we hear you. Actually, you should try this, or you should try these ideas, or try this strategy, or whatever else. Like when I was not hanging out with the right people, the wrong people were speaking into my life. And the way it looked was this: we're like, dude, you've been married for 10 years. You got 3 kids. Like, you think you're going to have sex anymore? Come on, man. Like, you're not going to have sex anymore. And as far as like, liking what you do for a living, like, come on, man, hardly anybody likes doing what they do for a living, but you know what, put your head down and just do it. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. And as far as like, being a dad, like, just do the best you can, man, provide, do your thing and take care of the kids. They'll be fine. And I'll tell you, that's not what I wanted. And I think if you guys are listening to this podcast, that's not what you want either. That's probably why you're here. And it wasn't until I got around the right people that when I would talk about some of the things that I was struggling with in my, like, I mean, I'll say this for what it is. I used to lay awake next to Jessica, like the wee hours of the night, thinking to myself, I wonder what she would do if I just reached over and tried to touch her. Like, I just wanted that connection with her so bad. And I'd lie awake at night frustrated. I'd lie awake at night next to her. Just, and most of the time I was too chicken to reach over and touch her because I didn't want her to be like, why, what are you doing? It's late. Stop. Like, I don't want to. Like, or not that she would say it like that, but that's the way, it was rejections at every corner. And that sucked, man. It really, really sucked. And I'll tell you, it was the loneliest time I've ever had in my marriage was during that time. And speaking to a lot of men really, this is their experience as well. I did some research on this, and the research really isn't clear because it's mostly on surveys and polls, but 52% of couples report being in a season of roommate syndrome for a short period of time or even long. So I don't know what that means. Again, I haven't dove too much into the research. All I know is that's the research I've seen. And also I've seen a lot of guys come to our table in the alliance with some of the same chief complaints. And so what I'm doing, this is going to be the first week of January. Just be on the lookout for a call. I'm going to have a preview call on this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cohort of men through this 8-week roommates to soulmates course, and I'm going to be doing it with you live. So every guy who comes into the alliance in January is going to be working directly with me for the first 8 weeks, and we're going to be doing this if you so choose. And if you got a great marriage, you don't have to do that. You can just enter into the alliance as you need be. But for all my guys out there, if you're experiencing any type of disconnect or any type of roommate syndrome, or you just want better intimacy with your wife, you want more connection, you want more sex, you want to attract her, you don't want to constantly pursue her and chase her, you want to attract her back, that is what this is going to be. So be on the lookout. I'm going to be scheduling a preview call, and it's going to be the first week in January, so more to come on that. So let me get to with what I want to get to here today, and that is fall schedules, family overload. This is the time that things really hit. And I want to share a quick story with you guys. Last year, Jessica and I really, really flopped this one terribly. Like, we were disaster pants with this particular topic, our fall schedules and our family overload. What happened is we've always told the kids, hey, each one of you get one outside of activity outside of school that you get to go do, whether it's a sport or whatever. And in years past, we've always had the two older ones. My oldest did band, and my second oldest did football. So that was pretty easy because it was like every Friday night, we saw a band, we saw the marching band my son was in, and we got to see my son play football. And then there were band competitions, and there were also some things here and there for football that were outside of that Friday night and all that, but it kept us pretty busy. But this past year, last year, and then my little guys would always do spring sports. So it's just always the way it worked out. They'd either do soccer or baseball or something like that. Well, last year, my youngest decided to do hockey, which if you got a kid out there that plays hockey, I had no idea that it was like a part-time job. Holy cow, the hours that went into that. And then my fifth grader, who is in sixth grade now, decided he wanted to play football. So we had a band kid, two football players, and a hockey player. And then what that did was that rolled right into wrestling season for my oldest. So it was like literally from August until almost March, our schedules were obscene. Were absolutely obscene. We had there were nights that all four activities were going on. We had all four kids in practice, or we had an event, and there were things that my wife and I couldn't make. The majority of the things we did do, though, we always had to divide and conquer, always, all the time. There's always one person sacrificing one game, one practice, one event, one whatever for the other one, so the other one could cover the other thing. And what we found is it was about 6 nights out of the week that we had somewhere to be. And that went on from August until March. And I got to tell you, man, one of the darkest years of my marriage. Not kidding. That's how much it impacted us, because we were stretched so thin. We were so exhausted. And the tiniest, littlest thing that would kind of spin us up or something that wasn't expected would just send us off the rails, because we were already maxed out. We were already stressed out. We were already, it was our patience was already thin enough, and it didn't take much. And so that's what happened to us. My wife and I fought a lot. My kids were arguing with each other, like nobody in my house was actually happy, which was really funny because you do all these activities because it's supposed to bring happiness, fulfillment, and joy and all these different things. And we were experiencing the opposite. So there's a few things that we learned from last year that I want to share with you guys, which number one, the Sunday night reset. I'm always going to have three things for you guys, usually on shows like today. So the first one out of the three is the Sunday night reset. The Sunday night reset is we do a 15-minute family huddle to map out our weeks every single week. And that really helps a ton. We also got the skylight calendar, so it keeps everybody's schedule in check. I wish I was partnered with that thing because it's like gold. That thing is awesome. But I have no financial interest in the skylight calendar, but if you like that thing, go check it out on Amazon. We got one and I don't even remember what life was like without it. So the 15-minute reset huddle was all about like, what schedules does everybody have this week? What commitments do you have? We need to make sure that you can get there. We need to make sure that you can get home. We need to make sure that we have dinners on the table. We need to make sure we have homework done. We need to make sure we have bills paid. We need to make sure that self-care also is included for us as well. Grocery shopping, everything. We had to schedule everything. But also with that 15-minute huddle, what we found is that would probably save us hours of mental bandwidth. It would also save us arguing and fighting because everyone knew their job. Everyone knew exactly what they needed to do, what day, what time, all that good stuff. But it was such a good way to plan for success versus try to start the week and just start failing right away. That was no fun. So that 15-minute huddle is really, really big. Also, we learned this lesson. If you say one yes, that is also going to equal a no to something else. And also when you say no, that means you're saying yes to something else. So let me explain that. My kids always want to do every single activity that comes their way. It doesn't matter. So like if they could do 3 sports at a time, they probably would. But we always say you get one yes to extracurricular activities and you have to say no to the others. So you have to be really, really deliberate around the things that you want to protect, the things that you want to do, because what you say yes to, you're going to say no to other things. And the things you say no to, you're going to be able to say yes to that thing you really want to do. So we're really, really big on say yes to the right things and make sure that you're really passionate about it. Make sure that you really want to do it and say no to the other things that quite frankly don't matter as much. So we've taught our kids that. And then the other one is this one, oh my God, most important thing is guarding your margin. Guard your margin. So one of the things that we do, my wife and I do this on Fridays. Every single Friday afternoon, right around 11 o'clock, I guard that time and so does she from like 11 to 4. That's like our time to like be together, to have like actually we just call it date day. And normally what we do is we go for a hike, we go for a workout, we'll go for a date, we'll go for a meal. We'll do other things too. We've done painting before. We've done all kinds of stuff. And I'm not talking about painting walls. I'm talking about like you go to like a really cool studio and they teach you how to paint. But like go do something together. We protect that time. And I'll tell you, raising 4 boys, all these commitments, me being a business owner, I could easily do way different things. I almost said way more, way different things with that time. Like I could really spend that 5 hours of my week and probably really dig into getting some things done. I could probably write another book. I could offer another course. I could do something to create another stream of revenue in the business, to help the business, to help somebody else. But I say no to those things. My wife has tons of things that come her way. She says no to all those things that come her way on Fridays because that is my date day with my man. That's the way she views it. That's the date day with my woman. That's the way I view it. And we guard that. We guard that with every inch of our life. As I'm recording this episode, I'm recording it on a Thursday, a couple weeks before Halloween. And I'm telling you right now, my kids have a half day tomorrow. So my wife and I are going to try to get out for an hour tomorrow, just an hour. But we're guarding that time. We're guarding that connection time with everything that we have. We've got to guard that margin. Make sure as you look at your calendar, guard the margin for yourself, guard the margin in your marriage, and guard the margin with your kids. By doing so, we'll be less overwhelmed. We'll be more patient fathers. We'll be better husbands. We'll be all these things. We'll be more effective leaders, all of these things if we guard that margin. So remember, the Sunday night reset, 15-minute huddle. Make sure everybody knows their job, everybody knows their roles, and everybody knows their commitments. Number 2, one yes will equal other no's. So say yes to the things that you really, really want to do so you can say no to the things that are not nearly as important. And that's also flip-flopped. And then guard your margin. Guard your margin with your self-care, with your wife, and with your kids. Make sure that you block out time for those times that really, really matter with the people that mean most to you. And speaking of treats, because it is almost Halloween, I have a brand new treat for you guys. It's totally free. It's called Questions for the Car. Questions for the Car. So you guys know I love questions. I created a PDF. It's called Questions for the Car because dudes love cars and dudes we love to drive, and our kids are always usually in the car with us. It's a great time to actually conversate. Your kids actually feel more psychologically safe talking to you in the car because they don't have to do nose to nose, toes to toes with you. They're not face to face with you. They're side by side, which probably means they're going to talk to you more. They're going to tell you more. So what I've done with this PDF is I've got 75 total questions for 3 different age groups. So 25 questions for age group 5 to 8. Got killer 25 questions in there for you. For those preteens, 9 to 12, I've got 25 questions in there for you too, dads. And then for those pesky teenagers that don't like to talk to you, well, you can just throw them a few of these questions and they'll probably start chatting you up. Guys, if you go to this particular show, I will have a link in the show notes for you. If you go to thedadedge.com/1395 for this show, again, thedadedge.com/1395 for this show, I will have the link in there for you. You can also go to thedadedge.com/kid questions, all one word. Again, thedadedge.com/kid questions. The cover charge for that PDF is just your email address. That's it. Don't worry. It's totally free. I don't want a thing from you. I just want you to reply to my emails and let me know how your conversation is going with your kids. That's all I really want. All right, gentlemen, head on over to thedadedge.com/1395 for this show. Go out, live legendary. Don't eat too much candy. Keep those kids safe. Guard your margin. Have that Sunday night reset. And when you say yes to one thing, it makes saying no to the unimportant things much easier. Love you guys. Take care.